Hello, team. Luigi here with the weekly talk. Sorry, I took a long break again. I was super busy organizing Gammon Championship, which was a great event. Great, not because I organized, but because it was really, really cool. We from Danbury, American Top Team Connecticut, we took third place between schools. We took 23 people to compete. The first place team took 54 people. So hopefully next time we took first place among schools, bringing more competitors. But another really good news is that we took first place in the ranking among teams or associations. So core Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, because of the amazing guys, black belts, and girls from other core schools helped us secure the first place, and that was a big thing. And thanks so much. So I'm really proud of everyone, especially because everybody showed so much sportsmanship and great professional attitude when it came to competing. Bowing, stepping on the mats, or shaking the referee's hands and being a good sport, and that means so much more. Not more, but just as much as your technical skills and your willingness to fight up to the last second. But it was great. In this video, I will explain to you guys why I decided to host the Technical Emergency Casualty Care course and why I attended and what is my logical order of thought behind it, my LOT, like my military friends likes to say, and why I advise you guys to maybe think about some of these things that I will explain to you. Right here, I have Maggie with me, and she was um, barking a lot. You want to say anything? Anyway, and Luna is there sleeping because she thinks I'm boring, very boring. Anyway, you guys know that over the years, I have been not shifting, but I have been adding more components to my martial arts training. And why is that? Because, well, number one, I believe that Brazilian Jiu Jitsu is the core of core Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and American Top Team Connecticut, but we do also offer Muay Thai because it's another dimension in martial arts, is striking. And we do have Judo, which is sort of in the same dimension as Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, but also help you guys with your stand up, throwing people, etc. We have MMA, which incorporates everything. So we say put all these dimensions together, but all of those things is pretty much in a sports type competitive competition type of environment. But regardless, it's still martial arts. We're practicing martial arts, and martial arts is based on so many things. Bushido, first place, but also your ability to defend yourself. And I believe that to be complete martial artist, not just a competitor or a sports type of hobbyist, I believe that we have to understand the tools that we have today and be able to use those tools, which could include, say, striking, grappling, wrestling. So judo is right there. And now we cover pretty much the main dimensions when it comes to hand combat, but we have to add other tools such as blades and sharp objects, maybe improvised weapons, and firearms. Because think about it, back during the samurai days, the samurais knew how to fight hand to hand, and they knew how to use the weapons that were available to them back then. So they had the swords, they had the all different type of blades, and even way more weapons that people might think or the movies might portray. Well, so I love Brazilian Jiu Jitsu because Brazilian Jiu Jitsu helps, let's say, somebody, or martial arts in general, helps somebody lose weight. It helps somebody. Are you okay, Lou? Maggie? It can help somebody release the stress. It can help a kid become more confident and assertive and avoid getting bullied. And if they get bullied, they will be able to protect themselves without escalating the type of violence, but restraining. I do, oops, I do believe that is extremely beneficial for women, and because it raises your awareness, you realize what you are really capable to do against a man, and you are really capable of doing so much. especially if you're well trained. It will help a veteran suffering from PTSD to find a new community, to find more positive, the positive side of social interactions. It can help a law enforcement person that, say, has been in the force for 20 years, has been always a great law enforcement man or women. And can you stop? And after saying all these years now is getting shamed by wrong narratives, putting everybody in the same bubble. And I will talk more about that in the Gray Matter Project, my next playlist here on my YouTube channel. But anyway, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can help you in so many ways. Martial arts can help you in so many ways. Find a community, find a tribe, find good people, have social interactions, reduce your stress, increase your capabilities, and etc. But to be complete martial artist, that's my shift in the way that I think. I decided to be more capable when it comes to my self-protection and the protection of the ones closer to me, my loved ones, or even a stranger if needed. So, what is the technical emergency casualty care? So, a really good friend, one of my best friends nowadays, and we think a lot alike, Ben, he introduced me to Chris from Condition Red, which is a company that trains many different government branches of the government and military people, special forces. Um, and Chris is he has been an EMT for 28 years. He created this company that offers the triple C courses and the TECC courses. So one is the Tactical Combat Casualty Care, more focused on the military, special ops, and all of that. And the TECC, the Tactical Emergency Casualty Care, that I believe it's more towards civilians. Well, let's not talk about firearm safety or overall self-defense. Let's talk about being capable of acting independently before helps arrive. So that's my mentality. I know if in a case of accident or something, it could be whatever accident related to maybe violence or related to just say could be a car accident. It could be any other type of accident. I want to be able to act and try to save my life, my loved ones, and also maybe somebody that I don't even know within that window, the period of time in which help is on the way, but it's not there yet. So I learned that it might take less than 3 minutes for somebody to bleed to death. And it, in average, takes 9 minutes for EMT to arrive, depending where you are. It could be shorter, it could be quicker, it can be longer. I believe that where I live, it might take like from 5 to 10 minutes because I'm really close to an engine here, to a fire department here. And but you could be in the middle of the highway also, the same way I drive a lot, say from Arkansas to Oklahoma. It's not a big distance, but probably will drive 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from any town around. So how long would it take for emergency vehicle or EMT or paramedics to show up in case I suffered an accident that I'm still conscious, but maybe I'm bleeding a lot because something punctured my femoral, my any other big artery, and I'm bleeding a lot. So knowing how to protect myself as far as how to render care to my own self, it can be a matter of life or death. So I do carry tourniquets. I do have trauma kits on me the whole time. When I travel, I have a little trauma kit with the basics, like combat gauze, Israeli type of bandage, different type of hyphen, and all of the something that is basic and should be in your lightest trauma kit to your biggest trauma kit. So, well, I do have 2 trauma kits in each car. I have 1 trauma kit on me most of the time, especially when I'm hiking and etc. So I have different type of tourniquets. And anyway, so the more I started exploring this side of self-defense and preparedness, awareness, and the willingness to act, and against those ideas, awareness, preparedness, and willingness, comes from the Tactical SIOC group, which I'm not part of, but I'm friends with that are part of, and that's where I learned from. We having these three pillars as base of your self-defense and your readiness, what happens, you realize that, well, what if I'm in a car accident and God forbid somebody in my family is bleeding profusely, or somebody has some sort of trauma that I can't help control until help arrive. So this is a big thing, in my opinion. Being able to act, protect, defend, and even care, apply self-care, or help other people around you within the time in which help will take to arrive. Make sense? So say somebody breaks into my house, how long would it take for police to arrive? How long would it take? It could take 5 minutes, it can take 10 minutes. How much stuff can happen in 5 minutes? Well, if you're not engaged in martial arts, you won't know. But if you're engaged in striking, grappling, wrestling, any type of hand-to-hand combat, just to begin with, you will realize that 5 minutes is an eternity, and so many things can happen, right? I can get choked, I can get tapped, I can get knocked out, etc., etc. And how long would it take for somebody to break into my room, right? I don't have a reinforced door in my room, but I know that somebody breaks into my house and just like, how they call it, donkey kick my door, it might break my door in less than 5 minutes. You know, well, I have two ways to think about this. Well, I can put reinforced doors and reinforced knobs and reinforced screws in every door hinge that might increase the time in which the person will break the door, right? Or I will have the tactics, the mindset, the preparedness, the practice, the training to provide cover for my family, say using a firearm. And especially because Connecticut, we have a modified doctrine, castle doctrine. This is not a legal advice, but you should read more about it, make your own research. So there's a difference between protecting property and protecting life, and there's a different spectrum when it comes to protecting life. But think about that, and I'm just going with the worst case scenario. So having the knowledge and having the training, we as a family know how to act. Who will grab my mother-in-law that has Alzheimer's? In this case, it would have to be my wife. And how I'll be providing cover so she can go grab my mother-in-law in the other room and bring to our, say, safe zone where we will barricade ourselves, say, to until help arrives. I'm talking about now a self-defense scenario, right? What are the laws? What can I do to protect myself? This is very important because that decreases your hesitation time. But also, I want to be very, very capable of, like I said, providing aid and help in case, say, someone in the family gets attacked or suffers an accident. And I want to be able to have a way to stop bleeding, clear airways, so forth, so on, until helps arrive. Now, you might think, well, Luigi, but the chances and the odds are so low. Yes, but think about chances and odds. Is it a zero odd, like zero chance? No. Is there a percentage? Well, as soon as you get in your car, anything can happen. Not because of how you drive, but because maybe how other people drive. Maybe because if oil spill in the highway and a light rain right afterwards, and then how slippery it can get, you can get like, I don't know, you find yourself in an accident. And now you look and you see who's with you bleeding a lot, or you are bleeding a lot. So make your own research. I'm not going to tell you. Check how long it would take for somebody to die from bleeding, from getting hit in the major artery. You know, what you can do, what you cannot do, and etc. So having the basic preparedness increased my level of confidence a lot. And it made me more independent. And this is not a political thing, because when you're talking about freedoms and independency, people immediately think you are this or you're that and label you. So don't label me, because if you think I'm conservative, you're absolutely wrong. And if you think I'm liberal, you're absolutely wrong. And if you think I'm libertarian, hardcore libertarian, you're absolutely wrong. Because you know what? I don't let anybody label me, because I don't want to be included in the bubble. and be limited by the boundaries of that bubble. And usually I call this bubbles of weaknesses, when people are so tied up inside their own thoughts that they stop making their own researches, they stop looking for different answers, and they stop challenging their own biases. So I talk more about that in the Gray Matter Project future videos. But that's why I decided to do the TECC, to be more capable of maybe increasing the risk of saving a life, including mine, in a moment of crisis before help arrives. We're going to be hosting it again. The school really doesn't make a penny over these courses. The only reason I offer these courses, which takes my time in preparing, advertising, hosting, and being there also, the only reason why I host them is because I want the best for you. I want the best for your family. I want you to be an independent, capable citizen, regardless of your political view. Don't expect help coming from right away. Don't rely on the men, other men, I mean men and women, politically speaking, to make the decisions, all the decisions for you. And just think as your life as being precious and being a gift from God, if you believe in God like I do, or a gift from life. And life is a gift, and that's my duty to protect my life and protect my loved ones. And when I say protect, it can be just like by providing the basic first aid until help arrives, professional help arrives, in either case of violence or a case of an accident. And that's the my logical order of thought, my how I think. And you might disagree. You might be somebody that doesn't want to think about this chances. You might be somebody that think that help is always going to be underway within the time needed to stay alive. And like I always say, just be happy with your own decisions. Just be happy with your own decisions. Be happy and go through the all the consequences in your mind, train your mind, rehearse those things in your mind, and think if you will be in peace in case something happens. And you had made the decision to not look into those things as far as preparedness and preparing to be able to protect your family, your wife, your kids at home against violence, or being able to prepare or being able to render aid to people when they need because of an accident. I made my choice. I decided to have a level of dependency and freedom to act, to protect myself, protect my family, and to try to save my life and save my family within the period of the time, like I said, in which help will be coming. So it's my opinion. It's how I live my life. Think about your life. Think about your loved ones. Look around you. Look at your family. Look at your house. Look at your property. Look at, what your life in general, and make your choices. All right? Have a great one, guys.